Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Reports are just now coming into our newsroom of a small plane crash south of Fargo near I-29. Dispatch says it's by mile marker 55 off of I-29. Right now, it's not known as to how many people were on the plane at the time of the crash. Again, it's by mile marker 55 just off of I-29 near Wild Rice. We have a crew on the scene right now, so stick with Valley News Live for further updates on this breaking story. In other news tonight, a 29-year-old Grand Forks man is in jail, charged with armed robbery. Derek Longy allegedly robbed a man in an Altru hospital parking lot last night. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us what happened and what you need to know to stay safe if you're a victim of crime.
It happened in this Altru employee parking lot at 11:40 Wednesday night. A male victim was confronted by a man police have identified as Derek Longy.
The Altru employee was confronted in the parking lot outside of Altru by an unknown subject brandishing a knife and demanding a wallet. So the victim provided the wallet. The suspect fled.
Multiple officers converged on the scene and were able to quickly arrest Longy near the scene of the crime. Lieutenant Zimmel says, fortunately, armed robberies like this one are not common around here. However, in this case, he says the victim did the right thing by calmly and quickly handing over his wallet and being observant.
That safety comes first, and what they can do is be a good witness. Whatever details that they can notice, remember, that can provide a very thorough and identifiable description of the suspect to law enforcement can result in stuff like this too. The wallet was gone temporarily.
Police also suggest that to keep from becoming a victim of crime, everyone should be aware of their surroundings. If your face is buried in a smartphone, you're more likely to be the target of criminals. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Police are still sorting through evidence, but it's likely this armed robbery was captured on video. The entire area around the hospital is monitored with surveillance cameras. There are still some flakes flying in the area, but no major concerns at the moment. So, Hutch, anything to worry about tonight?
You know, no serious concerns. It's winter, after all, for meteorologically speaking, I should say. As we start the month of December, it's certainly a lot more winter-like outside. Cloudy skies continue, periods of rain, and even some freezing drizzle across portions of the Southern Valley reported right here in the FM area. Notice our air temperature at the ground, 27 for Devil's Lake, Jamestown, and Bemidji. So any liquid or precipitation falling out of the sky falls onto freezing surfaces. That could be slippery in spots. Although we don't have heavy precipitation to worry about, it does look like a mixture of precipitation this evening in the FM area with nearly steady temperatures and a north breeze. Not a lot of accumulation, Andrea. It does look quieter as we head into the weekend. We'll get to the details on that. We'll update you on our late weekend, early week snow and the cold air you've been hearing about. We'll give you the update on that December-like forecast in a moment.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
A 20-year-old Papusky, Minnesota man is charged with sexually assaulting a woman that he enticed into his vehicle at Bemidji State University. Richard Erickson, who is not a student, allegedly walked into a dorm and asked if anyone wanted to get high on marijuana. The female victim left with Erickson and says he gave her a drink that may have been drugged. The victim told police that she was driven to a remote location north of Lake Bemidji and raped. She was later observed by friends stumbling out of Erickson's vehicle near a CVS pharmacy in Bemidji and taken to the hospital. If convicted, Erickson faces a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison. Martin Jude Dakota Jr. of Jamestown is now charged after allegedly breaking into a woman's apartment and falling asleep in her bed. The woman told police all of her doors were locked and she thinks Dakota might have come through a window. When police walked into the bedroom, they could smell a strong odor of vomit and alcohol. Dakota's blood alcohol content was 0.309, nearly 4 times the legal limit. He was taken to the state hospital for detox and later arrested for criminal trespass. Dilworth police need your help identifying this man. They say he walked out of Walmart with a 32-inch TV. If you know who he is, you're asked to call police at the number right there on your screen, 218-287-2666. The Minnesota Commissioner of Health announced today the decision to add post-traumatic stress disorder as a new qualifying condition for the state's medical cannabis program. Dr. Ed Ellinger says the decision was made after carefully deliberating available evidence, consulting with experts in the field, and public input. Petitioners put forward a total of 9 conditions for consideration this year, including PTSD, schizophrenia, arthritis, autism, and depression, just to name a few. Meanwhile, the federal government has approved clinical trials of the drug ecstasy as a means to treat PTSD. Some 2,000 military veterans are expected to arrive at the Pipeline protest camp near Cannonball, North Dakota by Sunday. The plan is to support the several thousand protesters already there as the Monday deadline approaches for them to get off the land owned by the Corps of Engineers. But North Dakota veterans organizations have written the group asking them not to come. In fact, they called a news conference today to distance themselves from the Veterans for Standing Rock group. They say while the VSSR has a right to peacefully protest, the past protests at the construction site and even in Washington are way out of line.
The VSSR decision to involve themselves with this unlawful activity is unnecessary, disgraceful, and not reflective of the veteran community. Their intention is to protest on December 7th at the 75th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. It is an insult to the few remaining World War II veterans of North Dakota.
The VSSR has a GoFundMe page to support its efforts, and to date it has raised more than $784,000 toward a $1 million goal. Reuters is reporting that President-elect Donald Trump is considering Democratic U.S. Senator Heidi Heitkamp for a position in his cabinet. Meanwhile, Heitkamp is getting some face time with the new commander-in-chief. Heitkamp announced she'll be meeting with Trump Friday afternoon. Today, Heitkamp says, in part, every single day my work is motivated first and foremost by how I can be most helpful to the people of North Dakota. Whatever job I do, I hope to work with the president-elect and all my colleagues in Congress on both sides of the aisle to best support my state. There's no word yet on any specific topics the two plan to cover. Stick with Valley News Live for updates on this developing story. This just into our newsroom. We have much more information now on that plane crash we told you about a little bit ago. Here's a picture of the scene. Right now, reports say there are no surviving lives that were on that plane. This is all happening right now near mile marker 55 near I-29. Valley News team's Ashley Bishop arrived on the scene, and we'll have a live report from her later in the newscast. Today, President-elect Trump was on the road and out in public for the first time since his election. First, he went to Indiana to officially announce that Carrier Air will not send 1,000 jobs to Mexico. His next stop, Ohio, to thank voters in a state that was key in his victory. Brian Moore has the latest from Washington.
In his first official trip since the election, President-elect Donald Trump traveled to Indiana, where he celebrated Carrier Air's decision not to export 1,000 jobs to Mexico.
These companies aren't going to be leaving anymore. They're not going to be taking people's hearts out.
He was accompanied by VP-elect and Indiana Governor Mike Pence, who played a key role in making good on a campaign promise to keep jobs in America.
Today, America won, and we have Donald Trump to thank.
So excited. It's great news.
It's a holiday gift for workers who'd been bracing for unemployment. Carrier says the state offered $7 million in incentives over the next decade. But CNBC has confirmed Carrier is closing another Indiana plant, exporting 700 jobs to Mexico. That includes the one held by this Trump supporter.
I'm glad he's able to save some jobs. Obviously, I wish they'd be able to save ours also.
After Indiana, the president-elect scheduled a rally in Cincinnati. First stop on a thank you tour of the battleground states that handed him the White House. Well, the president-elect is looking ahead. Elections officials in Wisconsin are looking back to Election Day. They're recounting every vote, a task that will keep them busy around the clock for the next 2 weeks. Brian Moore, NBC News, Washington.
Green Party candidate Jill Stein is paying $3.5 million for that recount. Minnesota Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer will miss what is considered a pivotal game against the Dallas Cowboys tonight after undergoing emergency surgery on his eye. General manager Rick Spielman says Zimmer has never missed a game as head coach. Tonight's game will be right here on NBC starting at 7:25. The Fargo Dome was alive today with 9th graders getting a look at career opportunities in the health, technical, and trades fields. Some 2,800 young people from nearly 40 area schools got not only a close look, but in some cases, actual hands-on time. More than 60 businesses took part in the demonstrations and the breakout sessions.
So a lot of these programs and these careers have a 2-year focus or a technical type program. And so we want to open up the opportunities for the students to see what they could do, like drive a crane or use a pumper truck, any of those types of activities.
This is the 14th year the home builders have sponsored this career expo. Could white wine boost your melanoma risk? Hear what a story says a little later in the show.
There's always something interesting to look at outdoors in North Dakota in the winter. How about a December rainbow in Hankinson? That means it was raining. Details on what you can expect in your forecast coming up right after this.